Hey guys, it's Dave. Happy Friday. We finally made it to the weekend. Today, I wanted to check in with you on how my portfolio is doing and talk about my performance over the past month. I like to do this about every month in the spirit of transparency and, generating constructive conversation around investing. I find too often people hide their results and don't want to talk about it, and then nobody really knows, okay, is what I'm going through normal, or am I losing out, or what's going on? So just want to be open with my own returns, especially about the stocks that I do talk about. If you're new to the channel, please do consider hitting that like and subscribe button, as it really helps out. If you're not new, thank you so much for subscribing, and yeah, the likes and comments are always great. Okay, let's dive into June's portfolio and investing updates. Starting off with the macro, things have been chugging along pretty good. Jerome Powell has generally not been too hawkish, saying that they've been making good progress on inflation, and the overall markets have been having quite a good year, which obviously does help out with the overall portfolio. But zooming in to my portfolio, just so you can all compare, it's been an absolutely amazing month for me. We're looking at over 20% returns. Unbelievable. This is not normal, so don't expect your portfolio to get 20% returns in a month all the time. Very unusual for me, but I'm just going to enjoy it because I've gone through plenty of tough months, as well as I'm sure you all have over the past few years. So really enjoying this past month. 1 week, even better on a short-term basis. We're up almost 13% on a 1 week basis. Again, very rare to have this happen in a week. Primarily in my portfolio, this is driven by Tesla and Rocket Lab. So, looking at my retirement account, which is much safer and tends to be much less volatile, has a lot of index funds and stuff like that. Still pretty solid month for the account. We're looking at 3.8% return, 3.68 that is, which I'm completely happy with. The annual target for this one is really all the way down at 6 or 7%, just looking to kind of perform in line with the overall markets. And we can see here my account is the purple line, so outperforming nicely the line here, which is the target, and of course the line down below is the TSX, outperforming that as well. Not quite outperforming the orange, which is the S&P 500, but I'm okay with that, holding, safer dividend paying stuff. You're not going to expect to always outperform the S&P. So, pretty well chugging along. Here is my retirement account. Now, on to Rocket Lab, as I know I do have a ton of Rocket Lab shareholders watching the channel, and it's been a great month for Rocket Lab as well, starting at around 4.4, ending at around 4.84. What a month on a percentage basis. This is extremely impressive, and when you think about where we were not too long ago, around 3.5, the run just feels even better. We must be up like over 20% here, 25%. So really enjoying this run. Yes, there has been a little bit of a pullback, but that fluctuation does happen, so completely fine with it. Now, just to share in the purposes of complete transparency, my position here, I've got 15,190 shares. Apparently my price cost basis is 4.622. I think this is converted into Canadian dollars, and that's why there's a discrepancy here. And the value number also converted to Canadian, sitting at 95,500. If you convert that number to American, we're actually more like 73,000 American. So I think this 4.62 number needs to be converted back to American to give you a better sense of my cost basis. But you can see here the line in the chart for my cost basis is actually sitting around below 4.4. I think that's more accurate. It's this green line here, and we are nicely above now after starting the month right at break even, so you'll love to see that. Tesla shares had an absolutely monster month here. This is a 6-month chart, and just over the past couple weeks since they released good delivery numbers for the quarter, they have skyrocketed from below 200, around 175-ish, all the way to 250. Now, green line here shows my cost basis, but this is not quite accurate because I switched brokerage companies while owning Tesla. And so this is actually the cost that I was at moving into this brokerage. So several years ago when I moved into this brokerage, for some reason, I don't think it transferred over the old cost basis, which is a little bit lower because I've done quite well on Tesla. But yeah, not complaining at all. This is great run, and a large part of the reason I'm up so much in the last month. Let me know if you're a Tesla shareholder out there, how many shares you have, how you've done, how you're feeling about the stock going forward. Is this run a little overblown based on, beating delivery numbers by a few thousand or whatever? Personally, I think I'm very bullish about it over the long term once we get FSD going, but that could still be a year plus away potentially until we see revenue from that. So in the meantime, it's really all about the delivery numbers. I also do have a few Rocket Lab options plays that I've mentioned previously. If you're not an options trader, that's completely fine. I don't blame you. It's actually safer to just hold the stock. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And you can see the majority of my Rocket Lab position is just in the stock with that 15,000 share position. So first of all, I did do a put, meaning if Rocket Lab stock had dropped below $4 per share, I would have been forced to buy it for $4 per share. So let's say today Rocket Lab stock had dropped to $3.50. Well, I'd be buying it today at $4. Now, I was willing to make that bet because I didn't think it was going to drop that low. For this trade, I received $400 and I took on the liability of potentially buying another $16,000 of Rocket Lab shares. So a pretty significant position, but if that had happened, I would have been thrilled to get it at that cost basis of below 4. So to me, it was a win-win. Obviously, the stock didn't move down. That means this option is now worthless. I just keep all $414. That goes right to the bank, cha-ching. And if we have a pullback, I might try to do it again because I think for me, the cost benefit on the $4 strike for puts is great. If I get put it below $4, I love that price. If I don't get put it, free money, win-win to me. I do also have a couple calls, one really long term going out to 2026, one shorter term expiring in October. These are both still sitting around break even because Rocket Lab has gone up since I bought these, but I was betting it would go up a significant amount and it's kind of gone up a moderate amount, so not quite enough yet to make a solid profit on these two options. Obviously, starting to run out of time on the October one. If it goes above $5 or even $6, I'll make a lot of money on that. If it doesn't, I could potentially lose it all. So definitely very risky. The 2026 option, not too worried about that at all. I think by then we'll have Neutron launching, we'll have space systems really roaring, and no concerns about that one doing well. But this is just kind of some small fun trades on the side to see what happens, show you how options can move so differently than the underlying stock. So we'll keep an eye on that over the next 2 months and during my next update. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've had a great month as well. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.